Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Shadowrun Hongkong. Wir gehen jetzt hier in Bolt Hole in unser Schiffchen. Gobbet, you two can bunk here for a while. She nods with her nose towards the hatch. You've each got a head to take care of your necessaries. Try to knock before you enter someone else's, okay? Seriously. I know the drill. Wu turns to you. Stinks of fish, just like that place we squatted at on Leary Avenue back when we were kids. The one with that Atslan family and that dog. You hated that dog? They were good people. Yeah, until the 162s decided they wanted the place. He wipes his nose with a gloved hand. They were good people. Sorry, that had to happen to them. He stretches and his spine pops like a handful of firecrackers. I think I've been up for something like 36 hours straight. He drops his arms. And this has been one shit stain of a day. Time to end it. The orc turns to you, raises an eyebrow. Anything you need before I leave you to it? Is it just you and Isobel leaving here? Yeah, Gobbet's mouth screws up a bit. Now that nightjar and gunshot are gone, it's just us. The squeal of metal grinding on metal rips through the boat. It sounds like it's coming from the level below. And the creepy Russian guy renting the engine room downstairs. Nothing to worry about. He mostly keeps to himself. She checks the PDA. He'll stop soon. He's usually quiet by now. Is there a place for my stuff? Yeah, check the locker over there. You can stash your stuff in it. No one will touch things in there, and it's a lot bigger than it looks. How do you get your hands in this place? How do people like us get our hands in anything? We found it. You found it empty? He sweeps his eyes across the cabin. The doubt is plain on his face. Somebody abandoned a prime piece of real estate like this? She shrugs. Close enough. It was full of BTL junkies when we came across it. They were completely wicked out on some multiplayer cyber game. I'm not sure they ever chipped out of it. They were completely emaciated, stewing in piles of their own shit. Their eyes had sunk into their skulls. Pretty gruesome stuff. They racked up a killer score though. True, they had the moves. Should you've hung an IV while they were playing. Should have hung an IV before they're playing though. It turns out nutrition is important. So what happened? Did they die? She shrugs. Nightjar ran them out. Not sure what happened to them after that. Anyway, it's ours now. Auntie Cheng says so. All but the engine room, you mean? Right, everything but that. Auntie rented it out from under us. That must have pissed you off. She shrugs. Whatever, we weren't using it. As long as our downstairs neighbor keeps to himself, he can have the lower level. Especially if it keeps Auntie Cheng happy. I think I'll have a look around. Okay, but get some sleep soon. You look like you could use it. We'll go see kindly in the morning. Figure out our next move. No. Da können wir auf unseren Stash zugreifen. So. Moment, können wir da Clear Character, räumt er da alles rein? Ja, super. Bunk! The cot in your cabin is neatly made, with crisp-looking sheets and an insulated plastic blanket. A fine layer of dust coats its surface. It's been a long time since anybody slept here. Walk away. Hey Mike, I got some things I gotta take off here. Let's talk later. Huh? Come back later, Kordanor, I'm busy. Würde ich das auch sagen? Hey, Seattle, I'm not really in the mood to hang out right now. Heavy stuff going down, you know? It'll be fine for the time being. I'd rather be alone. We'll talk later, though. Schön. Und hier ist nichts mehr. Dann haben wir uns ja jetzt toll umgesehen. Dann gehen wir mal wieder runter. Und in die Haie. Go to sleep. You climb into the cot and warm your way under the sheets. They've been starched stiff as boards, but you've slept beneath worse. The lice and bedbugs that plagued your old prison cell are mercifully absent here, and the salt air is fresher than the erased stink of the Redmond Barrens. The moment your head hits the pillow, exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black. The dream is suffocating, the shifting tunnel of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of a dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, and the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your back to consciousness. You open your eyes to Duncan looming over you. He shakes your shoulder roughly. Mike! Come on, Mike! Wake up! We gotta go talk to Kindly. The others have already left. Was I drooling? That was one rough night. He lets go of your shoulder and cocks a thumb at the hatch. We gotta go. I've been trying to wake you for a while now. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Thrashing around? Yeah, you were clawing at the air. Clawing, huh? Did I say anything? Nah, you just mumbled a bit. Nothing I could make out, he scowls. I didn't sleep well either. Bad dream. What about? He shrugs. I never remember my dreams all that well. It was probably motion sickness, not used to sleeping on a boat. I woke up a little while ago and hit the head. Then I came back and woke you. You doing okay? I'll survive. His fingers hit a knot. He winces. But man, nothing gone right since we stepped foot on this country. Foot, nicht foot. I'll tell you something though, and this is after a full night's sleep. I don't believe Ray's dead. He's dead, Duncan. You heard the news report, you saw the surveillance footage. I hope you're right, but I gotta say, it doesn't look good. I'm right, think about it. That statements from the cops on the newscast could be fake. Ours was. And that surveillance footage? We never saw Raymond get shot. The camera was hit by a strafe gunfire. His passion is intense, but contained, focused. Raymond's alive, Mike, I know it. So what do you want to do now? I don't know. Wait for Elite to turn up, I guess. He smiles. His teeth are white and straight and perfect. I'm just the muscle, remember? You're the brains of this outfit, just like when we were kids. God, I feel like I'm 12 years old again, squatting on a stinking trawler. My partner's gone, Raymond's gone. Hell, I am gone. I don't even have a name anymore. And now I can't even go to sleep and hide from it all without having a nightmare. His jaw tightens and his teeth grind so loud you can hear it. What else is gonna be taken away from me? Nothing, it's time for us to turn the tables, do some taking for our own. Whose head cocks like he's got the scent of something. I've heard that tone before. What are you talking about, Mike? Isn't it obvious? Look around. We are sinless, living in the shadows, dealing with criminals. What tone? I don't have a tone. Don't be dense, Duncan. That old woman is setting us up. Yeah, it feels that way to me, but... well, to me too. But setting us up for what? what are you thinking? That Kindly Cheng wants to be our fixed side. Makes sense. What are you thinking? That our little jaunt into the walled city was just a favor? He crosses his arms, considering. It was a test. The triad woman was testing us, Shadowrunners. Oh man, I have to think about this. He shakes his head slowly, lets out a groan. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. I am supposed to be a cop. And I want a pony. But we play the cards we're dealt. You got to keep your gun, that's something. Don't mess with me, man. He checks his watch. Gobbet and Isabel left a while ago. We should get going too, see what that triad lady has to say. Meet with Kindly Cheng. Oh mein Gott, eine Notiz. Na, hier ist mal so gar nichts. Können wir also einfach... Ich weiß auch nicht, was das jetzt zu bedeuten hat. Reliable Matthew. This tall, lanky Hong Konger regards you with a sickly smile. He holds a smoking cigarillo limply in his fingers and is surrounded by drones. Smooth jazz plays on the tinny speakers. I'd like to look at your drones. Hi, I'm Kordanor. He lazily waves you off with his cigarillo. No deals for outsiders. Move along, beautiful. Move it along. He turns away. Na, wir müssen erst hier mit der Tante einen Deal schließen. Achso, und mit dem Hacking, denke ich, hätten wir hacken können, wenn ich von vornherein hier dieses Hackdings da gewählt hätte. Aber haben wir halt nicht. Ich guck mal gerade mit dem Karma, ob man Action Pool erhöhen konnte. Da bin ich mir nicht ganz sicher, ob man mit einer gewissen Wert von Quickness auf 3 Punkte kam. Ne. Overwatch, das kriegt man da. Increases to hit by 20%, because up to 2 armor. Cooldown 3 rounds. Wir haben so viele Punkte übrig, eigentlich kann ich da auch mal was reinstecken. Das sind 9 Punkte, naja, dann wären wir schon recht weit runter. Machen wir einfach mal so. Confirm, 32 Punkte ist immer noch eine Menge. Für 15 Punkte könnten wir den nächsten machen. Kindly's place reeks of stale cigar smoke and fresh green. The clicking of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Cheng. She beckons to him with her finger and he struggles toward her. The loud rustling of the plastic tarp crackling under his knees as he moves. His pants are wet with fear. An acetylene torch lies on the table at Cheng's right hand. Kindly Cheng ignores the scene. She behaves as if all is right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? Like a baby, Auntie, I'm still in the afterglow of our tour in the walled city. Not too well, Auntie Cheng. I had a bad dream. Fine, thanks. What's with the guy on the floor? She indicates the kneeling man with an incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competition got to you first. My men found him outside the trawler you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed and that your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. So you're the night watchman now, buddy. Thanks. Ignore him. Bao doesn't move, but his jaw tightens and nostrils flare. She addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything, I swear. We just got the orders in last night. He pushes his head toward you and woo from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Somebody high up wants these two dead. The whole department is on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up? The old woman lifts her foot, taps his chin with the toe of her shoe. How high? The cop looks up at her, looks around the room filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it slowly and winks. The cop drops his head to his chest. All the way up. It's someone on the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead. Cheng spits on him with a sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation! Give me the truth! The cop wears the spittle. He never lifts his head. It's the truth, madam, I swear it! Whoever it was labeled them as terrorists. We are to terminate with extreme prejudice. Kindly Cheng shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her hand. Then she slowly digs her fingers into his scalp. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The triad boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he got. She lets go of his head and smooths his buzzed-out chair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the Executive Council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill two nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Not really. Corporations can just order the cops to kill people here. Yes, but why the need to label us international terrorists? Call that some messed up shit. Yeah. She strokes her policeman's cheek with the back of her hand. Her rusty voice becomes sweet as she explains the ways of the world. Propriety, my darling. When the government has someone gunned down, they prefer to make it appear justified. The people feel safer when their murders feel like part of civilization. My, but you have definitely fallen into the deep end of the pool. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the government. Here, the corps are the government. The Exec Council is chosen by the corporate board of governors. They are basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots, neat and efficient. Kindly Cheng steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigars. For the wage slaves and the civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room. But not for us. The triad woman takes a long pull from a cigar and taps her ash on the kneeling cop's head. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Heoi's shitbird? No one, madam. I hadn't called it in yet. I wanted to kill for myself. Kill for myself. No one knows they're here, I swear it. She turns to her enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with the PDA in his meaty hands. He is telling the truth, not outgoing calls from his PDA. Very good. Thank you, Bao. She nods at the cop. Thank you for your honesty. In one smooth motion, Strangler Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. Looks like the trials can be just as efficient. I was wondering what we were going to do with him. What the hell? That was a cop. Cheng takes a drag on her cigar. I know, my darling, now he's a silent cop. She balances her cigar on her shot glass, picks up some mahjong tiles and begins playing with them absently. It is clear our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And this executes council member wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks her tiles one by one. Click clack. Now they want you dead for it too. Click. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day too. She knocks the pile over and it clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweets. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightjar and Gunshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of deniable assets here. Players unaffiliated with the triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourself resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be a positive in this line of work. See, Duncan, I knew it. She wants us to become Shadowrunners. Shadowrunners, huh? What a surprise. This line of work sounds dangerous. Shadowrunners. Wu grunts, his jaw tightens, but he stays quiet. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. She nods at the body of the floor. The pool of blood on the plastic wrap continues to widen. You will have safe harbor here in my town and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toe into the waters of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, what his prosperity could be. What is in it for you? Besides the money and the benefits of helping others in my community, I need to learn who killed one of my clients and then ordered the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops and she becomes deadly serious. This is a brazen disregard of my power. Fate dictates it must be confronted or I stand to lose everything. How would the arrangement work? We are Westerners, isn't there a liability in this business? We need to find out who killed Raymond and why. Yes. I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what your clients cannot do for themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings. You make a lot of yen very quickly. It's all very civilized. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you and help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly Cheng will be your partner. Wu's hands go to his hips. He drops his head and shakes it a little amused. It was just you, said Mike. Was? It was just like you said, Mike. Shadowrunners. Glad I had some time to think about it. Process. He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Ah, fuck it. I am not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. He nods. The decision's made. I'm in. What about you? I'm in too. I didn't have anything back home anyway. There's the good money in the shadows. It's about time I cashed in. I am in until I clear my name and get the hell out of Hong Kong. I'm gonna find out who killed Raymond. Someone's gonna pay. I think Ray's still alive too. Let's run the shadows and figure out what happened to him. What does? If I thought that Raymond was dead, I'd agree with you, but he's not. Raymond is alive, I'm sure of it. So I'll run the shadows as long as Auntie Cheng keeps up her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then I'm gonna find my father. Then it's done. Heoi is now open to you. She gestures to a lieutenant who raises a finger to her ear and whispers into her sleeve. First order of business, Kordanor here has already chosen a street name. She turns her attention to Wu. But Duncan, Wu don't exist anymore. You'll need one too. Wu sighs. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. Gobbet rubs her cheek against her rats, a glint in her eye. I think we've already got you covered. A gun show. She turns to Isabel. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was gonna stick. It has stuck. Gobbet, Isabel, we'll handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. She didn't say nightjar. All the jobs line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squad boat. She's pointing at you. I got it. Why him? It's a simple process of elimination. She points to the little decker. Isabel isn't a leader type. You got that right? She moves the finger to the orc girl. As for Gobbet, let's just say Gobbet doesn't have a head for business. Not my thing. Then she rests her fingers on Wu. And then there's gun show. She wiggles it. The jury's out on Mr. Gun Show. Meaning? Her response is direct, straightforward. Meaning, there's a lot going on within that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. So I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst. Gun show will be fine, trust me. Jury's out with me too, Duncan. You're a raw nerve, and I'm gonna have to keep my eye on you. So I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst. Oh my sweet, don't put it that way. She opens her arms. You're the most equipped for the role. She's making sense. You're the right person for this, Mike. Okay then, I guess I'm running the show. I had a handle back in the Barrens. Kordanor, I guess it's time I dusted it off. Mike Milligan doesn't exist anymore. Call me Kordanor. Okay then, guess I'm running the show. Wu shakes his head, eyebrows raised. Gonna be weird calling you Kordanor again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Gobbet looks from Isabel to Wu to you. I guess this is our new crew. The rat on your shoulder scurries to the top of her head for a better view. Welcome to the shadows, Kordanor. Was ist das für ein Symbol? Ich würde mal sagen, wir speichern mal eine Runde. So, kann man wieder mit der reden. Kindly regards you coldly and lifts one hand in a dismissive wave. As much as I love your company, I have business to attend to. Clear the hell out of here and go get settled in. Na gut, dann werden wir hier mal auf dieses tolle Symbol klicken. Also können wir hier ganz grob einstellen, wie die sich verbessern sollen. Das ist ja ganz cool. Gainability, Firepower Rounds. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that fires a single shot of incendiary armor, does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. Costs 1 AP, cooldown 2. Und das Crowd Control. Duncan gains a rifle ability that does 2 AP damage and imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. This ability cannot do critical damage. Cost 1 AP, cooldown 2. Ich nehme an, dass man die auch jeweils da auswählen kann. Security Specialist. Nehmen wir das. Jawohl. Dann Isabel. Sabotage. Augment weapon mini launch. Isabel's grenade launcher can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. Isabel gains the Tar Blaster 1 program, an upgrade version of Blaster that also sticks enemies in place for one round. Dadurch, dass ich nicht weiß, was Blaster ist. Die anderen kann ich nicht durchschalten. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was dieser Blaster-Angriff macht. Nehmen wir die noch. Territoriality augments skill ranged combat. Gobbet spends some more time at the firing range, increasing her ranged combat skill and end. SMG is specialization by 1. Spiritualist. Spirits will never break away in the first rounds after summoning them. Ich bin kein Fan von diesen Spirits, auch weil man da halt jedes Mal so ein Ding für benutzen muss. Wir nehmen also da das da. Confirm. Fehlt also noch die, aber das lasse ich mal. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right hand corner of the screen will open the crew advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level, you may choose one of 2 possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Ich weiß jetzt allerdings nicht, wo da irgendwas mit Erfahrung steht. Naja. Aber es ist zumindest ganz cool, dass man hier ein bisschen Auswirkungen auf die hat. Und ganz genau durchplanen würde ich die auch gar nicht wollen. Smooth jazz drifts from cheap speakers on the barge. Ja, genau, das hatten wir ja. The salesman smiles indulgently at you. A tall, lanky human of clear Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply clutching a smelly cigarillo. He adjusts his tie with exaggerated, nonchalance, languid, ostentatious. Gut, also ich weder weiß, was nonchalance bedeutet, was languid bedeutet und was ostentatious bedeutet. Like an American casino promoter. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our little floating heaven. You've got a discerning look on you. What brings you to Reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar? He taps Ash over a bulky cleaning drone beside him. Not waiting for an answer, he continues. Perhaps you're looking for a hexacopter like a guide to Hong Kong, or a handheld tarantula beauty to brew your idea. You're reliable Matthew? That's right, reliable Matthew Shun at your service. He extends his hands to shake. The odors of peach-scented moisturizer and stale tobacco smoke wash over you. How about it? Oh, politely. Good day, I'm here to shop. I don't want to take up your valuable time. Pleasure to meet you, reliable Matthew. Let's get down to business. I'm just here to shop. Good day, I'm here to shop. I don't want my... ja, nehmen wir das. Always, always. Welcome to our little patch of peace on the river. I think you'll You really love Heoi. It's just a fantastic place. Well, now that we are acquainted, maybe I can brighten up your day a bit. What's on your robot list, friends? I'm interested in your combat models. Are you calling me beautiful? You know it. Beautiful. I hope I don't offend. I just can't help it. To me, everyone's beautiful, baby. Aha. Ich muss mal gerade husten. So. Knock that off. Right back at you, beautiful. Okay then, knock that off. Sorry, I just can't help myself. It's who I am. I'm interested in your combat models. Reliable Matthew looks over his shoulder at the security drones, some heavily cannibalized in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've just gotten a Doberman that I'm selling at an incredible bargain price. Shall we take a look? Yes, let's take a look at the security drones, all of them. Incredible bargains, huh? They fall off a truck, off the back of a truck. Never mind, I don't want to look at the drones today. With us. Are you implying that they are stolen? If so, you are mistaken. He smiles indulgently, as if you just said something in an alien language. This merchandise is provided only by trusted suppliers who certify the authenticity and workability of their goods. I don't flourish manufacturer certificates, but all the providers are really top-shelf guys, really beautiful people. Otherwise, I wouldn't carry their drones. Where do these trusted suppliers get them? Do these suppliers certify the untraceability of their goods? Absolutely! He proudly laps the S-Technology logo emblazoned on a housework model beside him. The majority of them are genuine knockoffs. Any IDs are stripped, but most were never registered in the first place. Can I be a supplier if I have a spare drone? Well, it's a very exclusive process. You need to be a member of the community in good standing, have good references, and pass a background check. He smiles widely, his eyes seem to twitch over you nervously. Or, if all you have is the drone, I can work with you. Where do these trusted suppliers get them? Where do fans, spawns, and soy chips come from? Or Lucy's lovely textiles? Or the electricity for the lights? Reliable Matthew sweeps his arm expansively at the heavens, trailing a stream of blue cigarillo smoke. Where do we get this glorious bluebird sky? Matthew takes a big breath, staring rapturously at the grey clouds. He looks back down at you, his expression goes flat. He shrugs limply and speaks in monotone for a moment. They're smugglers and fences. I don't know where they get their drones. Let me see what models you have. A Lone Star hover drone that is equipped with a semi-automatic turret. Cargo carrier. Ballistic Rylan sheet clothes offer a bit of protection, as well as many pockets to store tools and data sticks. Na, braucht man nicht. Outfits, Consumables. Goodbye, Matthew. Da haben sie ein bisschen unsauber die Texturen zusammengeschnitten. Da. Jin. As you approach the small landing, you see three men, two elders and a younger man hunched over a go-board. The juxtaposition of the two white-haired, white-bearded men and the black-haired man is almost comical. Together the three resemble the small black and white stones of the game. Despite the variety of ambient distractions, the three men remain absolutely focused on the game. One of the elders, a round-faced man with a beatific smile, carefully picks up a black stone and places it on the board. His opponent snorts, and a small smile flashes across his long face. Almost carelessly, he snatches a white stone and deposits it on the board. The smiling man groans, and the long-faced one proceeds to collect several black pieces of the board. Nah, you got me there, Jin. He laughs, a pleasant, full sound. As it trails off, he spots you watching the game. A broad smile brightens his cheeks. Hey, well, hello there, young man. Something you need? The long-faced man gives you a cursory look and continues to collect black stones. Just a garka, Shiu. It's your turn. The name's Kordanor. Got a second to answer a question or two? Don't mind me, I was just watching the game. See you around. Remember this? Shiu nods. I could use a short break. How about you, Jin? Jin sighs, shoulders slumping forward. After a moment of scowling, he reluctantly speaks. Fine, a short break. The two elders return toward the younger man. He looks to be in his early 30s, but it's difficult to tell. The skin on his face is smooth and supple, with only the suggestions of creases at the eye, mouth and forehead, but small gestures. A blink, a flare of his nostrils briefly reveal the lines of his face. The man's eyes rise from the go-board and study the elders. He nods. I've been hearing about strange dreams here in Heoi. Have you had any nightmares recently? The three men exchange looks. Shiu turns to you. What a coincidence. Wasn't but an hour ago that we were all discussing that very thing. We have been having bad dreams, every one of us. Interesting. You mind sharing? Jin shakes his head and crosses his arms. What makes you think we'd be comfortable sharing our dreams with a complete stranger? Seems like a good way to get ourselves into trouble. Especially with what you kids can do with that matrix you all love so much. He turns his head, pretends to spit. Peh! Shiu waves his hand and dismisses at Jin. Don't mind him, he's always been a poor sport. But raises a good point. Some of our dreams contain information best left private. Just as yours do, I'm sure. Having just met, how can we be sure that you will respect our personal information? I'll tell you. The younger man's voice cuts through the din like a razor, and the elders fall silent. He turns to you, and he locks his eyes, dark orbs that burn with piercing scrutiny onto yours. He nods and returns his gaze to the go-board. I believe you're trustworthy. Please, Korda, make yourself comfortable. I'll share my dream with you. I appreciate it. Go ahead. He exhales slowly, then begins speaking. I dreamt of a long, dingy hall. When faced with such a thing, one generally walks its length. So I lifted my right foot and placed it in front of me. But upon taking that first step, I found myself instead drawn down an alleyway to the left. It wasn't there before, this alley. It appeared only as I began to walk. As I moved down the alley, I found myself surrounded by friends and loved ones. They all stood there, silently watching me with smiles on their faces, and as I passed each one of them, they fell to the ground in my wake, dropping like puppets with severed strings. Somehow, I knew that if I followed this road to the end, I could have everything I'd ever dreamt of. But I woke before I could reach it. He folds his hands in his lap. There's a moment of silence before Shiu speaks up, the rosiness of his cheeks having drained away. I, too, saw the long hall. My own experience was different, however. The hall was far off in the distance, and I was looking down on it from a strange angle, as though I were perched on a wall high above. He pauses and looks at you. You know, young man, Kordanor, you look very much like the person I saw walking that hall. He moved steadily down the path, walking at an even pace. And just behind him, a great and terrible shadow followed. Of course, I didn't have the best view up there on that wall, or whatever it was. It could have been anyone. Perhaps this old mind of mine is seeing your face now, and is resembling the dream. He lets out a chuckle, and a small flush of red returns to his cheeks. He looks over at Jin. Alright, Jin, go ahead. Jin brought in his corner, arms crossed and jaw set. I've changed my mind. I don't want to share my dream. Nonsense, Master Lau and I have both told him our dreams, and now it's your turn. Jin sticks out his lower lip. No. That's fine, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I don't want to force you to do anything. He holds his palm up toward you and looks at you. See? Straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have to. Jin. Lau voice is firm but soft. This is important. Jin's mouth opens and closes like a gasping fish, but as he looks at Lau, his body relaxes and a sadness seems to take hold of his features. Alright, but don't you go repeating any of this, you hear me? He takes in a deep breath and slowly releases it, folds his hands in his lap. My dream began as a nightmare. I dreamed of the failures and mistakes that I've made throughout my life. The people I have let down, the competitors I've crushed, the wife who died in the hospice without me. I dreamed of the family that I abandoned. A change comes over him, his eyes brighten and he continues energetically. But then I dreamt of the walled city. I stood before it and its door opened to me, and when I passed inside, all of my guilt fell away. It was as though the city has absolved me, had washed apart my guilt, and I remember feeling happy. As his resemblance ends, so does his light mood. His face shrinks into a pout, and he stares grumpily at the ground. There, I did it. You happy? Lau nods slowly. Thank you, Jin. That was great, and don't worry, I won't abuse your personal information, promise. As all said and done, this was pretty boring, but who knows, this might be helpful later on. You have my thanks too. Yeah. Now can we change the subject? My uncle's acting up. Nicht mein Uncle, my Alker's acting up. Was auch immer das sein mag. I'm guessing you've been around these parts longer than I have. Is this sort of thing normal? If it were normal, we would have huddled around discussing them in whispers now, would we? Enough of that, Jin. A Kordanor here asked in earnest for our advice. He deserves proper response. Shu gives you a gentle smile. Please forgive our friend. Bitter years have left him suspicious of others. The answer to your question is no. Upsetting dreams have never been uncommon in Heoi, but these recent visitations have been different. They have been darker, more vivid, stronger than normal dreams. Last night I felt consumed by the sense that something was coming. While my friends here felt the sense of relief and excitement as their dreams ended, I felt as though I was sitting on the precipice of some vast, terrible chasm with a void yawning beneath my feet. Suddenly, his cheeks flush, he blinks twice, then looks away. But perhaps these are just the ramblings of an old man. Please forgive me. He scratches his nose, embarrassed. You speak wisely, Shu. It is foolish to embrace a thing that you do not understand. What Jin and I saw in our dreams was alluring, but so is the light to a moth. Your instincts are still strong and sharp, my old friend. It is wise of you to trust them. Shu bows deeply, his eyes to the ground. Thank you. I can only hope these dreams do lead to something beautiful. There's already enough deception in this world. Jin groans loudly. Can we get back to the game now? I don't want to keep you. Of course. Stop by again sometime soon, Kordanor. Your company has been refreshing. Thanks. Good luck with the game. Appreciate it, young man. We'll be seeing you. Ja gut, das war jetzt doch eine Menge Text ohne den wahnsinnigen Inhalt. Können wir noch zu dem Typi laufen, der Arzt da, und ganz im Norden war ja auch noch ein Händler. Da kommen wir wieder nach Hause. Dann würde ich sagen, mal hier ist mal wieder ein Schnitt. Und dann wird es beim nächsten Mal erstmal wieder mit Gelaber weitergehen, fürchte ich. Bis denn!